Hey there, in this clip we're going to talk a little bit about the different grips when holding a knife. And of course the reference is to make a good salad or chop your tomatoes there. So that's the only reference I'm talking about here. But we see a lot of different things and there's a lot of opinions about this, and I just share my point of view here. So I did another clip where I shared the 6 angles, and you can watch that in the channel there. But I showed you what we call in Filipino martial arts the heaven grip, because the tip is pointing to heaven. And then we have earth grip, because the tip is pointing to earth. Some people call this ice pick, depending on how you manage the fingers and everything. And there's good and bad and opportunities and possibilities and difficulties there. And most of the time people overthink all of it. But this is a training blade, so there's no sharp edges there. It's double-sided. But we see different grips like this, where we should put the thumb and so on. So I'll just share a couple of things there. But first of all, even if it's a training blade, you feel a little bit more flexible when you just put your thumb on top. And you can move and do stuff a little bit more dynamic. But on the other hand, the grip is sort of open. So if somebody's doing this arm, or if you hit something that you shouldn't, it might get out of your grip there. So even though it's flexible, it's also a little bit exposed. The opposite to that is that, it's not the opposite, but to lock in with a thumb. Now I have a really strong grip, but I'm not as flexible and dynamic in my hand here. But this grip is solid, and it's hard to get disarmed when you're having this grip. And then when we again go for that earth grip I talked about, you can also lock that one up with a thumb and have a really solid grip when you do slashing or stabbing there. Depending on the design of a blade, sometimes you want to be here, because if there's nothing here to stop you from sliding, it might be better to have the thumb on top so you don't slide with your hand. So, and this is all based on the design of the blade you're holding. So if I do a little marketing for IKEA here, this is just a regular kitchen knife. I don't have anything solid up here, but I have the index finger here, so I can still have stabbing actions and stuff and be fairly dynamic with this blade. On the other hand, if you go to earth grip, might not be that good to be from this side, because you can still slide and hurt yourself on this edge here. So in this case it would be so much better to have the thumb on top when you cut your tomatoes and do your salad there. On the other hand, when we switch over to a more traditional balisong knife, I'm not going to do a lot of manipulation here, but this is metal. You still have those little handles here. So yes, being on this solid grip here, I can still slide because it's fairly slippery. So with this kind of knife, I would prefer to have my thumb here, because it's not that much of a grip. If the handle is more wrapped up with other material, it might be better to be in this grip here. But since it's metal, a little bit slippery, and if you get sweaty or wet for another reason, maybe your tomatoes are a lot of water on them, or I don't know, you might slide on this, and you don't want that to happen when you're having a stress to doing that salad. Same thing here, when I'm not going to do a lot of this stuff, it's just for trickery, but up here it's normally natural to have a thumb on top because you want to manage this one here. So you can also grip that one and have different settings there. So again, it's your personal reference, but understand that the grip is designed by the knife and the handle. Alright, I hope that clarifies a little bit. Watch the other video where you see the 6 different angles and get some points of that, how we manipulate the knife in Kali knife there. Take care.